Good morning everybody from Lisbon, Humberto, Delgado, International Airport's Terminal 1. My name is Hugo and today I'm going to be taking a flight aboard Portugal's flag carrier, Air Portugal, from here in Lisbon on a short domestic hop up to Porto. Going to be flying on either an E190 or E195 today, not entirely sure, in economy class. So without further ado, let's head inside and check in. Now inside the terminal, the check-in line is humongous. Not sure if something isn't working or what. We got to the end of the line just before check-in closed, since I was only there I think about an hour and 45 minutes before departure, since it's a domestic flight, but I hadn't really thought about the fact that it would be the same as Schengen. But anyway, the kiosks wouldn't print us bag tags. I tried to talk to some staff and they basically said that there's nothing you can do. We eventually asked someone who frustratedly took our boarding passes, and I gather tried to get baggage tags printed but failed. So we were then sent to the TAP store, which I think was just the service desk, where there were some very dismissive staff, but once we got recalled, the staff who served us, who was nice, and since at this point it was too late to check in for our flight, we put on the next available flight for free, which was nice. I was worried we might have to pay. Apparently there's been problems with the bag drop this whole month. We went to a different area, which I'm a bit confused as to whether that was a premium area or not, but anyway, I managed to print and drop bags there, finally. Then security wasn't that quick, but not crazy slow like check-in. The baggage scanning equipment isn't that automated, so you have to take out your iPad and stuff. Now Airside, I tried to connect to Wi-Fi, but it's not working very well. In the duty-free section I was talking to a staff there about it, and apparently that's a common issue. Anyway, Airside, there's a good amount of places to get something to eat, drink or do some shopping. Everywhere here seems busy and a bit crowded. We have a fair bit of time to kill since the original flight was a fair bit earlier than this new one. I think departure time was 1:40. At 11:43 or so, I got an email saying that the flight's been delayed by 30 minutes to 2:10 and then eventually it got delayed to 2:20. The plane's arriving late. On a lot of the windows at this airport there's little dots, so you can see fine when moving, but taking good photos is a bit difficult. There's my ride to Porto. Charlie Sierra Tango November Victor is a 2009 built Airbus A320-214 which was delivered new to Air Portugal. It was built in Toulouse and is equipped with CFM engines and sharklets. By the way, for my original flight I did online check-in. Lounge access was available to purchase for €40, and also this was for the E190 or E195 flight. It said boarding starts 50 minutes before departure. People started moving at the gate to get on board at 1:48, or something like that, and it looks like we're now delayed to 2:30.
Thank you, have a good flight.
Boarding was done by groups. It for some reason went straight from Group A to Group C. Welcome on board one of Air Portugal's A320ceos, which feature in total 174 seats in a 3-3 configuration. The first 12 rows are Recaro BL3530 seats, which do feature headrests which are outlined with red. These seats make up the dynamically sized business class cabin. On this occasion, business was the first 3 rows, so then I think the next 9 rows are sold as economy comfort. Then the remaining seats are Recaro SL3510 seats, which do not feature adjustable headrests. Once finally on board, the drama wasn't over. Someone was in our seats, but there had been some error, so the boarding passes were different to what the system said, so the crew spent a while trying to figure out what to do since it's a full flight. Eventually it was sorted out and now I'm in 4 Alpha instead of 4 Foxtrot, but it held up boarding for a bit. Now finally my seat, which by the way I didn't have to pay more for this row, because it was just assigned to me when I got this new flight, so that was nice. Let's take a quick look at the seat features. With this being economy comfort, legroom is amazing. There's a seat back pocket with 2 compartments, then unlike the standard economy seats there is power outlets and USB-A outlets. There's a pretty standard tray table, then here's a literature compartment, and I'm not entirely sure what that does, and there's also a device holder. On the side of the seats it seems you'll find at least 1 coat hook. As previously mentioned, these seats do have adjustable headrests, which are adjustable both vertically and on the sides. There is some recline, and there's the overhead panel. Now before we push back, here's a quick look at the menu. It has a great selection at reasonable prices, except water is expensive, but I'm not sure if they give you some for free.
Ajustar e abrir o cinto de segurança. Two doors at the back, 4 windows over the wings, and 2 doors at the front.
It's now time for pushback, about an hour and 6 minutes behind schedule.
Airline, o comandante Figueiredo e toda a tripulação dão-lhes as boas-vindas a bordo do nosso Airbus A320. A nossa viagem até ao Porto, lamentamos o eventual transtorno causado por este atraso. A TAP Air Portugal, em codeshare com os seus parceiros Star Alliance, deseja-lhes um excelente voo. Obrigada. TAP Air Portugal, a member of the Star Alliance group, Captain Figueiredo and the entire crew welcome you on board this Airbus A320. Once we have taken off, our journey to Porto will last approximately 40 minutes. We kindly ask you to fasten your seatbelt, put your seat in the upright position, close your tray table and open the window blind. We apologize for any disruption caused by this delay. TAP Air Portugal, in codeshare with its Star Alliance partners, wish you a very pleasant flight. Thank you.
By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far and you'd like to see more like it, please consider liking and subscribing. It would really help me and the channel out so much and would be very much appreciated. But if you don't want to, that's completely okay. It's now time for takeoff on runway 02. Sorry about the gap in footage during takeoff. My phone ran out of storage halfway through takeoff. It's not my day. Now that the seatbelt sign's been turned off, the crew have come around and offered chocolates from a basket. It was nice dark chocolate.
Airport in Porto, we remind you to keep your seatbelt fastened.
Descent I think started about 16 minutes after takeoff, which isn't that surprising but still crazy since it's a 35-minute flight. Now as we are already descending into Porto, please allow me to conclude this flight with TAP Air Portugal. Check-in in Lisbon was a nightmare. Chaotic, disorganised, and there was a ridiculously long queue. Not sure exactly what was going on there. There was some system issues with airports in Europe around this time, but I wasn't sure that affected Lisbon. The staff for the most part weren't very friendly. To be fair though, they would have been over it all. And I don't know what was wrong with the bag tag printing in the kiosks. I'm glad we were at least able to get on another flight for free without having to pay, which I thought we might. While Airside had the essentials, including a decent amount of food and beverage outlets, with Wi-Fi that wasn't working, at least for me, and it being crowded, I'm not a fan of Lisbon Airport generally, really. Boarding was once again messy, with groups only showing on the screen, so there was no way of knowing where to queue. It also took a while with lots of gate checking. Then once on board, the issue with the seats being incorrect or whatever. Anyway, the flight itself was good. The seat features are fantastic. I forgot to mention earlier, by the way, that the padding's decent. If you get a standard seat though, I think it's pretty average. Not sure if you can get these up front seats for free during check-in. In-flight service was just the chocolate. I thought it would just be water, and I don't know if I would have preferred that. I'd be interested to hear what you would prefer in the comments. There's no entertainment, but it's a short flight, so yeah. The crew have been friendly, and the crew who was sorting out the seat issues was very nice and apologetic. As I said, the menu has a great selection at reasonable prices, except for the water. Overall, a messy experience with TAP. Also, TAP's website was annoying when trying to sign up, because it sounded like I'd get a discount if I signed up, but I wasn't able to do that. Based on this flight, I can't say I'm busting to try TAP again, but maybe on an intercontinental flight one day. When it comes to getting from Lisbon to Porto, or probably vice versa, I'd actually consider just taking the train next time. We'll soon pull into the gate, I think maybe 39 minutes late, but I'm a bit confused as to what time the flight was meant to arrive and what time it did. For now though, please enjoy the rest of the approach and landing on Francisco Carneiro Airport. My apologies if I pronounced that wrong. Runway 35.
We have just landed in Porto. Local time is 25 minutes to 4 p.m. local time, and the ground temperature is 19 degrees Celsius. We ask you to remain seated with your seatbelt fastened. Thank you for choosing to travel with Air Portugal, a member of Star Group. Looking forward to see you on our next flight. Thank you.
I'd like to take this time now to thank you all so much for watching. I'd also like to thank all of my incredible Patreons for helping to make these videos possible. Their support is truly so much appreciated, and I couldn't do what I do without them, so thank you so much to them. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you at my next one next Saturday at 5 PM Melbourne time.